Hello everybody, I hope. Every week. It's like it's Groundhog Day, or I like to say deja vu all over again, where it start off exactly the same way. Right, hang on, let me, there we go, okay, right. So, I'm hoping I can see me. Oh, I'm about to fall off the back of the machine. I can see me, can I hear me? Hey, Sunuka, how are you? There we go, yeah, cool, can. I have a class right now. I won't be able to join today's session. That's okay. You don't listen. We all have other stuff. I currently have a very black background, so I kind of have to try and deal with that. What's going on here? Why are you not seeing Xer? Sorry. Why are you not? Because you're open. I can see you. Why aren't you here? Let's try again. Anyway, how is everybody today? I hope you are well. I massively Control set X isn't. Yeah, which is a great way to start a roll. Dinner last night, bearing in mind that my birthday was in February, so trying to get basically just trying to find time between all the stuff that I do. All the stuff that I do, like between work and rowing and all that kind of stuff, and then kids swimming galas and stuff that Julie has on and stuff. Basically, it means that we just never had time. I mean, I think a big holiday someone's completely this year. Just feel into the machine. I'll explain how we feel about it. Yeah, so there we go. That's better, isn't it? You can actually hear over the sound of the music. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we just never have time to go out and kind of go out for meals and just like kind of be a couple. And finally, we had a window last night, and so we went out, had a lovely meal. Went to a place called Bovine in the West End, which sells very nice steaks. And I'm just a kid. I still had the burger. Julie had fillet steak. It's very nice. And then we went to a comedy club. Ha ha ha. But it was because I was going out. It was also, I thought, right, I'll take my foot off the brake in terms of watching what I'm eating and drinking. And so I had some wine and stuff, and so that's why I'm dehydrated today, is because yeah, alcohol does that. So it's every now and then, you know, I like having like a cycle where I can ease off the strictness, the structure that I have, where every now and then I will kind of say, I'll have a beer if I want to have a beer, or I'll eat rubbish if I want to eat rubbish. If only for the fact that it then makes me kind of go, I just don't like how that makes me feel. And because those little bits you kind of go, it's the end of a long week, and maybe I do want a beer or a glass of wine to try and help me wind down and things. And then you wake up the next day and you go, I feel rotten. And so that's kind of why sometimes it's good to remind yourself. So next time I'll kind of, this will be like 0 until possibly when I'm in Toronto doing the High Rocks. Maybe after that, because my Canadian family are coming down to see me, so we'll go out for dinner and stuff. So then I'll probably have a glass of wine and stuff. But yeah, the days of really kind of punishing myself and like having chicken and spinach for lunch every day and all that kind of stuff, and like just zero tolerance for like an entire year. Those days are over. That's kind of what I used to do between like 2015, 2018, when I was 14 to 18, when I was like properly racing and admittedly I was winning golds and all this kind of stuff. So there's like, but to stay lightweight, I had to eat really healthy and whatever. But now that I'm no longer a lightweight and I'm no longer performing as like the way I did back then, I just don't need to do this kind of bonkersness. And plus High Rocks gets in the way from all that as well, where I need to eat more for the energy that I need for High Rocks. Hey, Gavin Rowland's here. I've been missing all the messages from people. All right, let's see what we got. I've got to lean down. This is quite high up on the RP3, so I've got to lean down to talk to y'all. So Sunuka's got a class. Hiya, I love these start these start to tech setups. Looking behind the curtain a bit. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, you can see actually my framing's slightly off. I'll fix that in a second, but you can see I have, like, there's a light in the background, which is a backlight, which illuminates my back. I have another one, yeah, that's the one there. There's got one there, and I got one over there, and there's like a couple lights in the corner as well. And what's that? Oh, it's my weights bench. What's that poking out for? Is that that might get in the way. And also, yeah, I might get in the way. I'll probably frame that as well. And actually, see down here, that picture is the set list of the very last edit that I did for Tea in the Park, the music festival. I used to edit that for like the highlights for BBC, and that was the running order, the set list of the very last show that I worked on when it was at Balado. It was at Balado for like years and years and years in Scotland, and then they moved it for a couple of years, and then it went. Tea in the Park was no more, and so that's like a framed picture of the very last running order that I worked on, which shouldn't really just be sitting there lying down at the bottom, but I can't really work out where to hang it up in my studio. So anyway, where are we? We've got 9 minutes to go, and normally how are we, John? Interesting. Seeing the text help. You said the same as well. I'm very well, Gavin, apart from slightly dehydrated, and yeah. And John, I'll talk. I'm not dismissing your how are you, John, but like that's a chat for the actual row itself. I've got half an hour to fill, remember. John Edge says, hi, John, took a page out of your book on Monday. Yes, sharpening a knife. Oh, no. Oh, John, what have you done? Sharpening a knife and the sharpener broke. Opened my index finger from root to tip. Oh, you could see the knuckle bone. It didn't stop me rowing, though. All right, so you cut... Rather, because like when I did it, it actually went out through the tendon, so I was kind of my middle finger was hanging down like that. Yeah, so it sounds like it was bad, but not so bad that you needed to go to hospital and get your hand sewn up again. And I was in like a cast for ages, and that's what, for those of you who didn't know, that's kind of what happened. Where I was one of the best, like in the kind of 40 to 49 lightweights in indoor rowing, I was one of the best when I was racing, and then I had that accident, and the kind of the cream, that real kind of like that little zing that makes you better than everyone else, it went off. Is the best way to describe it. Hi John, hope you're well. From hey, hello sir, how are you? I think it's been a while since you've been on here, isn't it? Yeah, or at least certainly it's been a while since you've messaged on here. Hope everything's going okay. You were talking about getting an RP3, weren't you? And so, pada, I'm sitting on my RP3. So I'm about to set up Exer. Don't worry. And then, in fact, have I taken the batteries out of this handle? I think I have. I'm going to have to use the RP3 monitor instead. Grr. All right. How's that going to work? Anyway, sorry. What's I talking about? Yeah, so I'm on the RP3. I'll talk about that, but I need to set up the tech. Sorry, I'm jumping around. So I realised I took the batteries out of the Smart Row handle, and that's why I'm not going to be able to use that today. But I will. I've got to row a couple of strokes to turn the RP3 on, haven't I? This will be interesting because I think because I don't have because. The RP3 does not stay alive. Come on, you can see it, there we go. The RP3 doesn't stay alive unless you've got the app connected to it. So I might have to do some light rowing. Once we get everything set up, I might just have to sit here and like row lightly until we start, because otherwise that'll turn off. Oh, I've not turned my heart rate monitor on it either. Sorry, I'd say a little bit of a scatterbrained. I mean, it's always a scatterbrained start to my rows anyway, but I'm kind of all over the place today. And I had all the time in the world as well, because I had to come out and set up the RP3, so I don't know quite why I'm suddenly chasing my tail a little bit here. Uh-oh. So that's the monitor gone off again. So the monitor goes off really quickly. So I might have to, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, right, let's do this. Oh, good grief. Right, you're on. Come on. Sorry, I'm kind of juggling tech. I know I've also got to get, oh, you did. You got an RP3 for your birthday. Oh, wow, fantastic. So that's what I say. So the RP3 is a lovely machine. I really enjoy rowing on it. The only thing is it's very loud. Yeah. Oh, I didn't join my own event again. Join session. Yeah, so I'll try and speak up when we're rowing. because otherwise you won't be able to hear me. Right, okay, so I'm going to have to do, don't know how long I get before the monitor turns off. I know certainly if I row too slow, it still turns off, so. Right, okay, I need to fix my framing on screen now. So I think what I'll do is I'll stop rowing. How long have I got? 4 minutes. All right, we're not that bad then, are we? Whee! Oh no, wrong one. Idiot. That's the one you want to change. There we go. Like I've still got a little bit of shading and stuff in the corner. Let's do, if I do that, yeah, I'll just do that. You can't see my, can't really see my force curve, but I don't really think you need to see my force curve. Don't worry about my heart rate. It's saying it's 114 and whatever. It's not. There's just something weird with the thing. Right, so if I go back into XR, is everything fine? Here we can see, you can see everything. Yeah, cool, right, fine. And I can see that kind of. So, right, couple of, we've got 3.5 minutes. Make sure and do some warming up and stuff. Oh, is it keeping my connection alive now? What we got questions-wise? Hi, Joy. No. The RP looks incredible. How does it compare to the Concept 2? So, the main thing about the RP3 compared to the Concept 2 is, like I'll row, is that it's the machine that moves and I stay in place, okay? So, this is the biggest difference, and what this does is it makes it, in fact, it's actually, cool. Because the way the mechanics in this work, you can't really get away with a really early arm pull. It just doesn't respond as well. Like on a Concept 2, you can hardly use your legs and still go fast by pulling with your arms. It's a lot harder to have that bad technique on an RP3. It just doesn't go anywhere. So from that point of view, it's like night and day. Really, from a rowing technique point of view, this will help you improve. The actual feel for it in terms of the stroke profile is very similar as well. You feel connected, as long as you get the technique right, you feel connected all the way through the stroke as well. It's not like, I find WaterRowers, if you don't connect properly at the front, if you don't really accelerate in with that forwards tilt, you can lose the connection. And it's, when you look at the force curves on Smart Row and things, you can see that that's a problem. So, so yeah, whereas this is you really feel connected the whole way through. The only thing I'm actually not that keen on, and I might see if I can sort it, is, oh no, I can't see where I put it. Oh, there it is. Is I really don't like the seat. It's got, I think it's probably like a proper rower's seat. It's got the divots for your sit bones cut out of it. Oh no, my head, look, it's a headless John. There we go. So I've got like the Concept 2 seat pads. How are we doing for time? Just over a minute. I don't know if this is going to be worse though. David Palos, hey, hola, hola señor, ¿qué tal? I'll let you answer. Me? Sí, muy bien. Anyway, does your chat come out on the XR app or just YouTube? I'm afraid it just comes out on YouTube. I mean, I don't really think there's a way for XR to kind of factor that in. There is a Discord channel, which I used to use at the same time, but nobody joined in on it. There's only one guy that ever turned up, and I'm sure, I wonder if he's still kind of going, oh, I wonder if John's ever going to do that again. Well, actually, it was German, so that was a bad impression. I'm gonna have a quick drink. We've got 30 seconds to go. There is about a 6-second delay between YouTube and the XR app, so make sure and start on the XR app. Like I said, I'm very dehydrated today, so I'm just going to take this nice and easy. This is going to be like a shakedown row after being out last night. So let's get ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So you'll see that I am using the Smart Row handle. Don't know if that really comes, whether you can tell that or not, but I am using the Smart Row handle with the RP3. The intention was to use Smart Row's data as well, but I didn't put batteries in it, so can't. So, going back to Gavin's question about how does it compare to Concept 2, right now I'm rowing with what I figure is the same effort, the same RPE, kind of putting in the same force as if I was using the Concept 2, and my pace is pretty much the same. I'd expect to be between 205 and 207, and that's exactly what I'm seeing. So the force curve you can see is pretty much what you'd expect for a Concept 2, but you can see that I've got a great big kink on the front end of it, and that's going to be that kind of transition from pushing with my legs to the backswing isn't very smooth. I'm not entirely sure what I need to do to fix that. I'm trying. Remember, but let's just, where are we? We're 2 minutes in. Let's start how we mean to go on and talk technique. So, I always like to think about technique from the back of the stroke. So as you pull the handle into your chest, this is when you reset your technique ready for the next stroke. So handle comes in and you instantly let it come away from you quickly but smoothly, okay? You're not throwing it away from you. You can see on me the handle comes in and it doesn't, I don't hold it against my chest. I let it come away. And as you do that, you use the momentum of your arms away to help you sit up onto your sit bones. Up. And then tilt forwards. But that's sitting up. Talking to you, Martin. That's sit up onto your sit bones. And the tilt is so important, that posture. If you don't have a good, strong posture, am I freezing or is that just, can't tell, the YouTube, either of my iPad's freezing or the, who knows, right, sorry. So, if you don't have a good core, good posture, braced core, you're not going to be able to get the power from your feet and into the handle. If you're soggy, everything kind of just falls apart. Me. Okay? You can see my pace went down to like 213, 214 just then. So, handle away, sit up, tilt forwards, and then bend your knees. Once you're in the perfect position. So, hands are past knees, and I'm in that forwards tilt before I bend them, or ideally. As I said that, I thought, am I actually doing that? Quite possibly wasn't. So I just thought freeze again. I really hope it's just my connection to YouTube like the playback side and like you guys are all right. It's not breaking up for you. Because that would be annoying. Anyway, arms away, tilt forwards. And what should then happen is you're in the correct position when you bend your knees, and you don't have to do any adjustments. So you're locked in once you start bending your knees. And again, this is kind of optimal rowing machine technique. I know on the WaterRowers we'll want to get the oar out of the water and back in again, which means the handle goes in a loop. Down, up, down, up. But what you're trying to avoid is when that handle comes up, you don't want to open your back early. The amount of times I see the handle come up and it creates that early opening of the back and the hips. Especially in, like when I'm at High Rocks race, or even when I watch videos of High Rocks people, or you know what, even when I go to the gym, you see people constantly leaning backwards as though, like, I mean, it's useful, I'm in completely the same space, but I'm losing so much power here by not adding my backswing. So, arms straight, forwards tilt, and then when you get into the front, only slide until shins are vertical. And you also want to try to take a moment to just think, am I still addressing the front with a good posture? Get into the front, brace that core, and then push your feet into the machine. And I mean, one of the cues I often use is to say that you should push the machine away from you with your feet, rather than think about pulling the handle or how quickly you can get to the back. Hey Goose, talk to me, Goose. And it's really evident on the RP3, that it's about pushing the machine away. Because I literally am. So I'm not going to do all of the sprints. I may do one later, but I'm still just trying to get my body used to exercise again. Where are we? Coming up for 10 minutes in. I'll just quickly wrap up the technique thing. So, into the front, push your legs, straight arms, or push your feet, and then try, if at all possible, to hold your forwards tilt, at least for half of the leg drive. Let the power flow from the legs first, and then open your hips, swing backwards and then finish with the arm pull. So push, swing, pull. Push, swing, pull. Or I think I've got a t-shirt that says push, rock, pull. Because you rock over your hips, backwards and forwards. So push, rock, pull, release, rock, I don't know, bend. Yeah, right, hang on. We'll do this later. Oh, fine. Someone just commented we'll do this later. Oh, hang on, is that subtle? Seems to be rowing in a hot dog. I've not seen a hot dog as an option before. Nice. So yeah, so I think that covers technique. Just remember and sit up. You can concentrate on one thing. I want you to concentrate on posture and the tilt forwards and the rock backwards. If you can just think about that, a lot of the rest of it takes care of itself. Where you then just really have to think about tweaks like how high to finish with the handle, just sternum height, and then the handle coming away and things. But just think about posture and rocking. Good grief, my backside is sore. I'm just not used to the pressure point of this seat, even with the foam pads. My little delicate backside is more used to the Concept 2 and the Averon, so this is really uncomfortable. But it's one of these things that time would sort me out. If I did another 2 or 3 sessions on this machine, it wouldn't be sore anymore. And I think that's what loses a lot of people when they start rowing. The first time you sit on a machine, you can get a sore backside quite quickly because your glutes aren't used to it. And that can put a lot of people off rowing. Whereas if they just gave it 2 or 3 more sessions, they'd find that their backside would be used to it. And the pain would go. Or it's because they have a poor posture, and when they're tilting forwards and backwards during the stroke, their sit bones are crushing over their glutes, like over quite a large area, like a rolling pin. And that can cause real pain. So those folks need to sort out their posture. Don't think mine's that bad today. I think it's just the pressure points from this seat. Yeah. Anyway, let's see if I can make it through the second half of this row without complaining about my backside. So, I never plan anything I'm going to talk about when I make these rows. And so it's always interesting the things that happen during the week, or between rows, let's say. that can then pop into my head and I can think, oh, that might be something that people will be interested in. And I think one of the reasons I'm on the RP3 today is because I get asked a lot by people about what machines are best. And in fact, somebody messaged me yesterday asking about the Averon that I make videos on, kind of saying, do you actually recommend it? Or is it just because they pay you? The truth is, they pay me to make the workouts for their platform, but they don't pay me to be their shill, if that's the right word. They don't pay me to say I like the machine. It just so happens I do like the machine. And it's kind of what I was saying to this person who was asking about it. And he was like, yeah, but will I still give me an effective workout? And I'm like, it's not the way to think about it. That fundamentally, any rowing machine needs two things. It needs to allow whatever level of resistance you're looking for within reason. Obviously, something like this RP3 is designed to emulate water, so it won't have the increased resistance of something like the Averon, which has like an extra magnetic resistance. But like when you compare it to the cheap magnetic machines, like they're just magnets, I mean, they're really easy to overpower once you get relatively well used to rowing. And so they can be frustrating, let's say, to use. But the other thing is the positions that you're able to get your body into. So you need to be able to get your arms straight in front of you, tilt forwards over your hips to around about 1 o'clock angle, and slide until your shins are vertical. If you see a machine that the handle return is kind of above your feet, run away. You won't be able to row away. They won't let you go fast enough. So stay clear of machines like that. But they're really the two things. And then it comes down to things like feel. Like I said, a WaterRower, the stroke can feel different to a Concept 2 or this RP3. This RP3, you can see, is a totally different rowing action, perfect for on the water rowers. But the kind of negative to this one is just the volume, how loud the fan is. You wouldn't want this in an apartment building, I'll tell you that much. Not unless you've got good soundproofing. And so, same kind of goes for all the current knockoff Concept 2s or even the skill row, that they still allow you to get into the right position and mostly allow the right amount of resistance you're looking for. And then it's down to like the monitor. I hate the monitor on a skill row. It doesn't stay on long enough. Or other distractions like the Averon screen. And so, the point I was trying trying to make to this fella is it's not the machine that will give you the workout. It's the effort that you put into it. So this is an amazing machine, but if I was just tickling it, I wasn't putting in 206, 207 pace at 21 strokes a minute, then I wouldn't be, where am I to go? Yeah, oh no, somehow the calorie readout on this is saying 51 calories. I don't think so, Tim. Does RPP tell me? 400 and... No, it doesn't. But through this row, I should burn about 300 calories, okay? And that's because I'm putting in effort. So if I bought a rowing machine and it stayed folded up underneath my bed, then the machine's useless. Or if I come out and put in very little effort, I'm not going to get the results I want. The same goes with technique as well, where, like I say, I should burn about 300 calories, and that's pretty safe bet because I'm rowing with an okay technique. Using, what do they say, rowing uses, say 85, 90% of your muscles, but that's only if you push with your legs, swing with your back, then pull with your arms. If you skip out that backswing, or if you don't have your core engaged, you aren't working all those muscles. You aren't putting in the watts, the work into the machine. So this guy could easily buy the RowAlong. I think it's $100 off right now. And then as long as he uses it right, then his weight loss goals and performance goals, he'll hit them. But if he doesn't, if he thinks the machine is going to do the work for him, then he won't. And in kind of many ways, it's the same with coaches. Reminds me, Martin set up, nice and tall, good posture. Where, especially on the online community, there's a whole bunch of us all peddling some version of the same thing. Get people like Eddie. What's his second name again? It'll come to me. Who's really knowledgeable, but he doesn't tend to put himself out on YouTube like me, or like Austin or Shane. And then you get those guys who really know their stuff. Austin is amazing, but possibly a little bit too excitable for some people. Shane is amazing, but possibly a little too serious. I mean, still has fun, but you get what I mean. And then I know I'm at the kind of bottom of the barrel here, but I figure you folks who are watching or listening tend to resonate a bit more with my kind of, I'm not like a, tell you what, I'll sidetrack to Les Mills, you know, the kind of cycling and exercise classes. The RowAlong bike now comes with Les Mills workouts. So I thought I'd give one of them a try. And it was one of the most irritating things to listen to. These just words coming out of their mouths, meaningless platitudes. Hey, you've got this, how's your glow? Come on, this is amazing, come on team, you've got it. Huh? Just makes me I'm like, you know nothing about how I'm feeling right now. I mean, I know I'll at times say things like, right, come on, you might be feeling fatigued here, but let's push it. But I'll never be the type that throws out random platitudes at you. So, what I'm trying to say is that you need to find your own tribe. Like I saw a comment on one of Shane's videos where someone wrote, "You're the best rowing coach on the internet." And my initial thought was, oh, well, that's what I want to be. But then he obviously resonates with that person. That's like, that person is looking for his personality and he's giving it to them. Whereas I got a lovely email yesterday from someone who is recovering from open heart surgery and is slowly getting back into rowing after being like a squad on the WaterRower. And he was just thanking me for what I put out because it keeps him motivated, keeps him company. So he obviously seems to connect with what I'm doing. So there is no right or wrong. There's only what works for you, and as long as, even down to the machine really, as long as your coach or your machine are helping you with your goals, then you made the right choice. Sometimes variety is a good idea because you can mix it up. Maybe you want someone shouting platitudes at you on a day where you want to, you're just like you're feeling a bit demotivated. You need some encouragement. Maybe you want someone just rowing in silence. You just want to follow them. Who knows? In fact, if ever you want to let me know what you prefer, tell me. I am going to start making a new series in a couple of months' time on Concept 2, where I'm going to introduce slightly longer, or introduce periods where I don't talk. Like say I've just given you a technique cue, like sit up, good posture. I then give you 10 seconds to concentrate on that before my mind jumps onto the next subject. Don't worry, I won't stop talking. Might just be a little less. But that's all part of something new and exciting at RowAlong Towers. Can't really say what it is yet, but the one tease I'll give you is that it's on a Concept 2 and it won't be green screen. I'll actually be in a space CrossFit gym making them. Oh, one more stroke. Oh, that was interesting on my backside. There, I made it to the end at least without talking about it again. Oh, I need to adjust my position. Oh, excuse me while I sit forward. So, I'll check Look at me, I look stupid. I'll check the replay later, but do let me know if I was breaking up during that, if it was pausing the whole time. Maybe you're no longer here. 21 people are still watching though, so I would have thought that if that was glitching the whole way, that loads of people would have signed off. So 62 people, I think that's fantastic for a summer Sunday, when people frankly have better things to do than spend half an hour inside in a rowing machine. Although maybe you're outside, maybe you've got a little al fresco row going on right now. But whew, yeah, so I think it's amazing that 62 people have turned up. I'm trying to think about how do I feel about my chat in today's row. Quite a lot of technique chat, wasn't it, at the first half, and then quite a lot about the differences between machines and coaches. I mean, I do, obviously, if you look at it from a competition point of view, I shouldn't really be mentioning Austin and Shane. I should be saying, you should be using me, Eddie Fletcher. Funny how that just popped into my head. Yeah, I should be saying, just use RowAlong, but one of the benefits of the fact that I have a day job making TV programs, and this is kind of like a side hustle, the RowAlong thing, is that because I don't use this to make my living out of, I can be a bit more kind of like, yeah. If it ever gets to a point that, especially the TV market right now, it's not a lot of TV being made, so it might well be that I have to rely on RowAlong for a while. And then I'll stop talking about other people. But anyway, right, I'm going to wheel forwards and read some messages. Loads of people. We'll do this later in the fire hall. That's David Fleming, struggling to get back up to fitness again. Just take it easy and slowly, David. I know it's a little bit late to be saying that because you're obviously not here, but always be patient. In fact, actually, how can I sit that isn't going to hurt my backside? You can see I'm wriggling all over the place. Oh, right, I'm just going to do this. Right. I need to lean forward anyway. That RP3 would make an effective air raid siren. Video was glitching. Audio was perfect. Oh, that's okay then. As long as the audio's okay, because I'm more worried about, because I'm going to upload this afterwards as a podcast. I'm worried about the podcast people. After starting with Shane's rowing videos, I came across RowAlong at the right time. Shane's plans and videos are good for beginning the rowing journey. Oh, okay, but possibly, because I've never actually thought before I started doing RowAlong, I was a huge kind of consumer of his kind of like technique videos and things, but I never like joined his crew and paid for his proper plans and things. So I wasn't entirely sure what he's like. I'm sure it's fantastic anyway. But yeah, Matthew Isaac, great, thanks, John. I have my abs in one piece again. What? Okay, much happier. I'm trying to think. Should I know what that's a reference to? John Edge, well, I spent this entire row with my bandaged index finger pointing accusingly. Yeah, accuse. Then when I started, so TT is continuing. Then when I started longer rows, RowAlong fitted my needs better. Ooh, more videos with someone rowing along and waffling. That would be me, while also remembering about proper technique. Yep. So, best trainer depends on what you currently need. Thanks for John in any case. It is my pleasure, absolutely always a pleasure to be here. And Shane says, hi John, thanks for that. You're the best rowing coach. Oh, thanks. Oh, sorry, yes. Sorry, apologies, because you asked for the sit. Sorry, I kept on saying Martin, didn't I? What did I? Sure. Okay, yeah, sorry. I should have said Matthew, not Martin. Apologies, there's nothing worse than someone giving you a name check and then getting your name wrong. So I'm sorry about that. Hey, and there's Ronnie. Cheers, John. A hot one today. Well, it's a hot one here as well. Hope last I heard you were not going to be doing the Dublin High Rocks. Is that still a plan that you're going to be pulling out? If so, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you can get back onto things. I was looking through old photos of like High Rocks to make it like kind of a big picture poster wall. And I came across, I can't remember how I came across you, but there was definitely, it must have been Glasgow 2023, that's the first time we met. And there was like photos of you, I think, on the rowing machine. Yeah. Hopefully going to do it, yes, good, right, okay. Right, everybody, I'm going to go. I have to go do my own High Rocks training. I've got to go and do some sled pushes and pulls, which I'm hoping is going to go okay because I damaged my meniscus last week, so I'm hoping that if I just take the weight off, I can kind of help it today, but I'm going to be very, very mindful. If anything hurts, I'll stop. Gavin says, your videos are the best. Oh, thank you. Made a huge difference to many of us. Love the live rows as well. Oh, that's nice of you. Thanks, Gavin. You're a good fella. It's nice, and again, it was Glasgow 24. Sorry, because I couldn't. Yeah, now I know why. Because there was no, I didn't have any photos of me from that event, and so I was like scrolling through all of the photos on Sportograph, and you popped up. TT says thanks and have a good start into the week. Yep, and everybody else, have an amazing week coming up. No matter what you're doing, I hope it's a good one. Possibly, depending on where you are, if you've got kids, they might be going back to school soon. Certainly mine are back at school. It's nice to get peace back in the house again. And I hope you just look after yourselves. Make sure and if you have plans, exercise plans, try and keep to them rather than, I know life gets in the way sometimes, throws in a bit of a curveball and things, but try and remember if something happens and it derails you slightly, it doesn't actually knock you off the rails. It basically just puts a little bit of a wobble. So just get back onto the machine or start lifting weights again or whatever it is you had planned. Just get back into it again. Don't think that one error is the end of it. All right, that's really me talking to me rather than you. So So and then after this row, please go have something to drink, have something to eat, have a shower, tell someone you love them, possibly all at the same time. Although don't recommend eating in the shower; it'll get soggy. Although if you're at the gym and you tell someone you love them in the shower, that could get awkward, couldn't it? So maybe don't do that either. so basically, do all four separately. You can drink and eat at the same time, but that's right. Gavin echoes, have a great week, everybody. So that's what I'm going to say. So everyone have a good one. Remember, next week it's going to be back to 9 o'clock in the morning for the Rise and Row with RowAlong. And I look forward to seeing you seeing me or however that works. Remember, you can get in touch, info@rowalong.com or Facebook, or comment on this video, whatever, if you have any questions, suggestions, requests, whatever. And I'll try and answer you if I spot it and have time. So thank you once again for being here then. And I'll go about my week and I'll see you next week. I had absolutely no ending to that sentence at all. So I'm going to do my little outro. I'm going to hit stop streaming and we'll all get on with our lives. Is that all right? Cool, great. All right. So everyone look after yourselves. Row well. Be